A lot of people keep talking about fair elections, honest elections. I really, just to be honest with you, think we need to start talking about the fact that a lot of people like myself don't really see elections as real choice by the people. I think that elections are an illusion of choice given by the powers of Wall Street, and we know Wall Street has heavy control of the casino real estate sector, which controls so many of our politicians and our campaign donors. They have a lot of ties to the unions, which are a force to pump up these politicians. We need to also start considering the fact that the main instigator of all this is Jim Murren, which I believe he was behind the current and previous
I'm sorry,
words,
sir, we're not, excuse me, sir, you're not allowed to call people out personally. That's not appropriate. We do not use public comment. We do not use public comment to attack other people in the state. If you'd like to express your opinion, that's perfectly fine, but the committee will not accept attacks on other people in the state.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, I just know that certain people greatly profited from the pandemic, and those were very few rich people. We need serious campaign finance reform. We need audit to see what's going on. The fact is that we need a nonpartisan solution to overthrow the system, or maybe we could hope an economic collapse will hopefully change the game. But I don't feel that our government, state, local, and federal, represents the will of the people. We have to consider something that is more representative of everyday Americans, not a handful of wealthy donors. Thank you.
Broadcast Services, do we have anyone else for public comment?
Chair, the public comment line is open and working. However, we have no more callers at this time.
Thank you very much, Broadcast Services, for all of your assistance in helping us be successful this evening. We greatly appreciate it. Committee members, thank you for all your hard work, time, and attention. I will see you Friday after Senate Finance and Ways and Means meets. We will have an independent meeting back in this room to process some more bills Friday morning. So I will see you then. Thank you all very much. Good night.
I think it's very important that we rescue and improve our infrastructure. A lot of it's needing badly repair. It creates a lot of economic opportunities. But I think it's important to know that one of the reasons why our infrastructure is in horrible shape, I have been living in California for 25 years, and what I've noticed is a lot of the public money for state and local has been wasted on public employees and pensions that would have gone to infrastructure. This is one of the reasons why Nevada has better, especially highways and freeways in the state of California. So I think that passing federal infrastructure programs, it encourages this ugly incentive. And she's also talked about high-speed rail. It really depends on the cost, the speed, the efficiency, because the one in California has wasted so much money that they had to essentially cancel it. So I really don't want a complete boondoggle. And, you know, she's talked about also raising taxes. Like, who are they going to specifically raise taxes? Now, if it's Wall Street and many of the large corporations like MGM Resorts that are having tax havens, then I would be in favor of that. But I believe a lot of these taxes are going to be likely regressive, and it's going to harm the middle class. And then she's also talked about all the credit market expansions. How long can this continue? Our national debt is increasing at very, very high levels, faster than GDP levels. When is this finally going to have to hit a break? And our economy is so disproportionately on credit. As interest rates go up, I think it's going to be game over, not just for the U.S. government, but even the state and local governments. And in fact, one of the largest components of our economy in Las Vegas, which is housing development, if the rates go up, it's going to burst the real estate bubble. So I think we should really, really be careful. I think public infrastructure is important, but it depends on how we do it. Thank you so much.
I guess the real question is, are kids really learning in these public schools? You know, they go to school, they attend class. Is there true learning? Because you talk about learning and education, but is it true education, or is it just schooling? Now, before I begin, I want to point out that when the kids were placed at home, was this really necessary? Did it reduce the number of deaths? How many people of the individuals under the age 18 experienced deaths? And the other issue is when kids are going to school, they're going to school, memorizing, being obedient to teachers, doing massive numbers of homework. Are they really learning, or are they just doing it because they're being pushed around and trained to do so? The issue is a lot of people seem to believe that grades and credential levels are true education. I don't buy into that. I switched high schools, and my last high school I graduated in South Orange County, California, was among the highest ranking schools in the United States. But when I moved, my grades plummeted. So we often think that high ranking schools means that kids are really learning. But in a lot of cases, it just proves obedience. The real education, the real learning aspect is not just whether the student really understood the concepts, but are they going to apply it in the real world? So if they're learning about a certain architectural style, if they design a building with a certain style in the real world, then that is real learning. But if they're just cramming for SATs, AP classes, all these kinds of things, and all the concepts are gone the next few days, then what's the point? We're spending all this money. It's time that we measure real education by real world contribution. And it's time to really discover that are these students doing this because they want to, or they're just being shoved down their throat. So we need to focus on real learning and not just schooling. Thank you so much, and I hope I opened your minds quite a bit.
Thank you for the call and public comment. So with that, we will close. Oh, do we have any other callers in public comment? PPS.